Welcome to Assembly Bethesda On Air. I'm your host, Hayne Fogarty, and I'm so glad you've chosen to join us today. We're gathering in this space, right here, right now, to dive deep into a truth that I find absolutely captivating. Eternal Gothic romance, Christ the Bridegroom in a dark and beautiful covenant. Settle in, because we're going to walk through this rich truth together in a way that's both casual and heartfelt. We'll take our time unpacking the sheer beauty, the profound mystery, and the incredible depth of this love story. A story that, for me, feels both ancient yet vibrantly alive right now, in this very moment. What strikes me about the idea of Christ as bridegroom is this haunting, beautiful weight it carries. It feels Gothic in the best possible way, full of dramatic depth and striking contrast. Think about it. Dark tones of sacrifice meeting the radiant light of unending love. This isn't just a distant theological concept, it's a living, breathing romance that invites every single one of us to step closer and truly experience the relentless pursuit of a devoted lover.
Let's begin right at the heart of it. Christ comes as the devoted lover, the one who sees his bride in her frailty and still chooses her completely. The cross, to me, stands like an ancient monument to that choice. In the darkness of that hour, love triumphs in the most unexpected way. This isn't distant theology, it's a living romance inviting your participation every single day. He steps into the gloom of our world, into the weight of sin and the quiet aches we all carry, offering himself without holding back. What's fascinating is how the Gothic atmosphere of this covenant appears in facing reality head-on. Sin, suffering, and separation create shadows that feel so real. Yet the bridegroom steps into them without hesitation. He wears the crown of thorns, so the bride can wear a crown of joy. Every scar on his body becomes a mark of deep devotion, speaking louder than words. This love doesn't run from the hard things. It embraces them, transforming them into something sacred and lasting.
Scripture, paints this incredible picture vividly throughout its pages. From the prophets who spoke of a faithful husband relentlessly pursuing an unfaithful people, to Christ's arrival as the ultimate fulfillment, calling the church his beloved. This romance spans testaments and centuries, always reaching forward to that great wedding day that awaits us. It's a story of pursuit, of waiting, and of ultimate union that truly stirs the heart when we slow down to consider it. And when we talk about waiting, what about those periods in this story? The bride often feels that ache of separation, doesn't she? Those long nights of prayer, that sense of walking through a fog. Here's the thing, these moments build a depth that makes the relationship so real. They teach us reliance on the bridegroom, who never sleeps, watching over his beloved with tender care. I found that darkness here serves a beautiful refining purpose, drawing the heart nearer in ways that easy times never could. In those quiet, shadowy seasons, the covenant feels most intimate because it strips away everything else, leaving only the relationship that matters most.
In this covenant, every promise holds strong, like the stone foundations of old cathedrals that have stood for ages. Words like, "I will never leave you nor forsake you," ring through the vaults of our hearts with steady assurance. Communion becomes that intimate feast where the bridegroom offers himself as bread and wine, a shared meal of remembrance and fresh hope. Prayer transforms into whispered conversations in the dark chapel of the soul, where fears are laid bare and peace is received. Worship rises like incense from places that once felt ruined, turning sorrow into songs that linger. This Gothic romance celebrates contrasts in striking ways. Light and shadow dance together throughout the narrative. The empty tomb bursts forth after the darkest day. And the beauty of this also unfolds in community. The church gathers like candles lit in a vast nave, each flame pushing back the darkness. Together we reflect the love of the bridegroom. Daily life, too, takes on new hues. Morning routines become quiet meetings with the lover of the soul. Even in mundane moments, the romance whispers that we are pursued and cherished.
The eternal aspect of this covenant truly comforts me deeply. This isn't just for earthly days. It stretches into forever, where the bride stands in full splendor, every tear wiped away, only joy remaining. The Gothic longing finds its perfect home in complete union with the bridegroom who has prepared a place for us. So my call to you today is simple yet profound. Lean into this romance with open hearts. Let the shadows drive you closer rather than away from the one who walks through them with you. Embrace the mystery of a love that chose the cross and continues to choose you every day. This dark and beautiful covenant offers belonging, purpose, and unending affection that satisfies our deepest places. Expanding on the bridegroom's imagery, it draws from ancient wedding customs but carries divine weight. The bride's preparation involves cleansing and adorning, done by the Spirit. The church is washed by the Word, made spotless and ready. This process feels intimate and thorough, like a lover caring for every detail with patience. Gothic elements appear in the very architecture of faith itself. Think about it. The high ceilings of grand cathedrals that inspire such awe, the intricate details carved into stone that speak of mercy upon mercy. Cathedrals were built to point us upward toward heaven, just as this romance lifts our gaze from earthly troubles to the heavenly reality that is coming. The arches and vaults create spaces where light and shadow play together so beautifully, mirroring how our lives hold both struggle and glory within the same covenant. This passion of love, it refuses lukewarm responses, doesn't it? It stirs the heart to respond with whole devotion and fresh surrender. Even in seasons of dryness, when feelings seem far away, remember, the covenant remains unshaken. Our feelings may ebb and flow like tides, but the promise stands firm like bedrock. The bridegroom speaks comfort in those times, words that cut through the fog like moonlight on ancient stone. He reminds us gently that he is still there, still pursuing, still absolutely committed. As the church, we live with anticipation of the marriage supper that Revelation describes in such vivid colors. Joy unbounded fills that future scene. The Gothic romance reaches its crescendo there, with shadows fleeing forever before the eternal day. Every longing fulfilled, every promise kept, the bride and bridegroom united completely. Let this reality settle deep into your heart today. Christ the bridegroom offers a covenant rich with meaning, dark enough to feel authentic to our broken world, beautiful enough to heal completely and restore what feels lost. Walk in it daily with open hearts and expectant spirits. Thank you for joining me today. As always, it is a pleasure to spend this time with you. God bless, and until next time, courage. Thank you again. If you like what I do here, head on over to www.assemblybethesda.com.